Everything needs a good water, but I thought maybe I would do a tour of my plant nursery right now. I have like 3 trays of these purple bell vines, and they do really want to get put out. I pinched them before, and actually this one has 2, so maybe it hasn't been pinched. They really need to go out. A lot of my labels have come off, like things are getting eaten too. This is monkshood, and it's really hard to grow from seed. This year I didn't put my stuff, bring all the trays onto the porch when it rains, and then bring it back out and then like bottom water it. It just takes too long, so you know, you lose some of the seedlings, and some of these are just weeds now. But I mean, I have like a ton of trays of these. So here are coral bells. These did really well. I had no luck germinating them when I started them last summer, but I did them as a winter sown thing, and you can see there's just a ton of them in there. This one has red flowers, but they are also getting eaten by, these ones are getting eaten by slugs. And this is super cool. These are all oak leaf hydrangeas that I started from seed. So I gathered the seed off of a really mature specimen last fall. These need to be potted up. And I did them in the winter sowing, and they were just like a mat because they're just the tiniest little seeds. And I really took pains to try to get them out of, pricked out. And so there are multiples in these, but I've been thinning them somewhat. These are foxy foxglove, and there are so many in each one of these. They're kind of struggling. There's like at least 12 plants in each one of these, except maybe they're gonna die. Everything really needs to be watered. Here's some Jacob's Ladder. I think this is the white type. I think it's getting too much water here. I don't know, they usually like more sun. I think I need to move some of the trays around. This is my lady's mantle that I started from seed. I have not figured out how to get lady's mantle to start from seed. It did not want to start direct. It did not like the winter sowing process. I have 3. I just threw some more seed in these pots the other day, so maybe it'll come up for me. Now this is one of my triumphs. I have a some bleeding heart from White Flower Farm, and last year I noticed that it had seed pods on it, and I just happened to be there the day when it was like releasing them, and they were all ready to be collected, and little tiny black dots. And I winter sowed them, and like, look at these. So these are all those red bleeding hearts. I think they call them Valentine, and they're just like the healthiest plants, and they're huge, like compared to the other plants. So I collected more of them, weeds, this year by getting little catch bags, like organza bags. So here are some columbines, and I've had really bad luck. I mean, they're kind of ephemeral spring plants. We have a lot of borers that got the ones that I have in the beds. Oh, just these terrible weeds. Like, I'm gonna have to get that one later. This is an obedient plant. I also collected the seeds. It's huge. I've been clipping it down so that the foliage doesn't just tip over the pots. But I collected the seed last fall too when I was walking around. And these look really good. This is supposed to be a less aggressive version of obedient plant. Here's some more Jacob's Ladder, another tray of oak leaf hydrangeas, which is really cool. I don't know what I'm going to do with dozens and dozens of oak leaf hydrangeas, but I do have a lot of shade. Here's some Tithonia. This really needs to be planted out. I actually did more annuals this year. This is Black-Eyed Susan. I think it's Goldstrom. I got these plants from the lady that gave us her perennial divisions last year, and I collected the seed when it went to seed in the fall, and it came up really well. in the winter sowing jugs. And I really like this type of black-eyed Susan because it's a nice compact clump, even in our lack of sun. And it seems to be reliably perennial. Here's some foxgloves. They are not happy. I think that they might be dry. Yeah, they seem pretty dry. That I pricked out. So this whole tray was just one of the pots over there that was completely full. There's some more monkshood that's doing a little better. Actually, I'm sorry, this is columbine. This is monkshood. They really are getting eaten by something. I mean, there's like a spider web on them, so hopefully that does something. So I'll have lots of spider webs. I'm like totally fine with the spiders. Here's some more of that obedient plant that I've been more diligent about pinching so that it branches. I don't really know if it's any good to do that with an obedient plant, but these aren't getting potted or planted out until the fall. There's some more monkshood. Oh my gosh, I forgot I had this tray here. I was going to sow more of these seeds. This is ageratum. It's like that foamy purple flower. Oh, these look so good. I need to pinch them though. This is just an annual. And this is really fun. This is a little rose, angel wings rose. You can get these seeds from Renee's garden. Only one of these seeds germinated though. I have had a little more luck with dahlias than this, but these are the giants ones that I got. I mean, you can see that they get eaten, but that needs to be pinched. Actually, I could just pinch it right now. It's kind of like the slugs were trying to pinch it. So you could root that. I don't know if it's worth it at this point in the season, but we'll just do this one too. I have so much lavender. There's like a dozen plants in each one of these. They need to be potted up. These were actually overwintered on my porch. I did these from cuttings last fall, and I have actually another bunch of them. I need to cut them back, I think. They're getting kind of woody. Here's some random annuals. I have this purple ballerina deterrent. I planted this out everywhere. It gets a little more eaten than this is my deterra that I saved the seeds from. It has a velvety leaf, and it doesn't really get eaten, although something tried. These ones have definitely gotten eaten. This is amaranth. I have like neglected this and kind of just threw the seeds out, and now I've thrown it everywhere to see if it'll just grow. I'm not really sure it will. These were Bishop's Children dahlia cuttings that I did stick, and they just keep getting eaten back. Not really sure that's gonna go anywhere. Oh, there's a little bit more ageratum, and also tithonia. I seeded so much tithonia. Gosh, it needs to be pinched really bad. A lot more annuals this year, and then there's some sad foxgloves. The foxgloves are just not looking very happy, I guess because it's very hot. And here are a bunch of dahlias, actually. I think these are watercolor silks, and I need to plant these out today. You can see that I did pinch these. Maybe not that one. And these ones are a mix of, those ones are Bishop's Children that have the purple stems. And then these are watercolor silks, which is a small dwarf dahlia. More foxgloves. This is my biggest dahlia. I don't know what happened to this one. I think I just threw these in this pot. I don't know, maybe they'll grow this big when they're, and you can tell I did pinch that. Maybe they'll grow this big when they're actually planted out into the beds. Although they just get eaten really bad, because I do have a bunch planted out into the beds and they don't look good. And here's a bunch of marigolds for this driveway strip, which is a bit of a mess, but I have been planting out stuff. So here's a I had trays and trays of these mahogany splendor hibiscus, and this one's like 8-10 inches tall now. There's some tithonia, hollyhocks that have rust. All of my hollyhocks over here have really bad rust. And here are some cosmos. I collected these seeds when we were out in the fall again. These are like a white airy cosmos, and I just pinched these the other day and they're already a lot stiffer and better. And these are I'm excited about. This is a heliopsis. It's called Bleeding Heart, and looks like I've got a couple more coming up, hopefully. There's definitely 1, 2, 3 where nothing's coming up. I guess that's just what I get for not bringing things to the porch as far as seed starting. Does anybody know what does that? Here's some seed trays. I don't think anything's coming up here yet, because this is supposed to be anise hyssop that I got from Baker's Creek. I wasn't really impressed with that. I mean, I guess I see a couple things. It was a lot of chaff instead of seeds. And then this is Lady's Mantle, which I tried again, a different variety. It's not coming up. I just did these the other day. This is another tray of Silver Princess Shasta daisies and a perennial version of alyssum, which is called Gold Dust. And this is delphinium seeds that I did the ice cube method with. As you can see, nothing's coming up, but we are ever hopeful. Just did these tall marigolds the other day, and there's something that's coming up in there. These are all alyssum, and these are all marigolds that I started the other day. And some other small marigolds that are coming up. And lobelia that clearly I've neglected. I don't know if I'm going to do anything with this. This is like that trailing lobelia from Botanical Interests, and maybe I'll do something with that. Oh, these have little flowers on them. That's cute. Some Jacob's ladder that needs to be, I don't know, I need to uppot that. There are a bunch of hydrangeas. These are those sticks that I rooted earlier. You can see that they are becoming pretty nice little plants. And these ones, I just stuck these in when I was trimming them, and some of them are alive. It's really interesting. It's always worth doing that. Now these, not sure like that one, if I should just cut it down here or just hope that it will actually laterally branch if I don't do that. I don't know. This one, I don't dare cut down. It might end up being a tree type. Need to be up-potted. This one, you know, some of them for aesthetics are not doing so well, but some of them are doing really well. I mean, like, look at this. This was just a stick that I cut off. And I put it in water because I knew it would bud up. Like, look at how cool that is. And, I mean, almost all of these have really taken off. Some of them were a little more attractive looking than others. I have been trying to cut them back so that they branch, but what can you do? Anyways, I have a lot of hydrangeas actually. I also dug up just a chunk of lilacs earlier in the spring because my mother-in-law bought a house last year, and I don't know if she's going to want some of these. And but look at this. I air layered this hydrangea last year. It was that big. It was smaller than any of the ones that I showed you. And I just threw it in a bed, the back of a bed. And then this spring I found that it actually overwintered. So I popped it in this pot, and its stem is huge now. It's so cool. And this is mountain mint. I don't know what its deal is. It doesn't seem very happy. It's got white leaves. I don't know. It's supposed to be part of the mint family. It's supposedly impossible to kill it. There's plenty of sun here. stems are all woody. I don't know what the deal is with that. There's some more hydrangeas. Those were also just stems, I think, this year. I have a bunch of peonies, and these are all from Costco, actually. This one's an Ito peony. I got them as bare roots, so it's not like a feat to have, you know, grown them or anything. But I didn't want to plant them out in the spring because I knew they would just get eaten. I didn't have much luck doing that with bare roots last year. So I thought I could keep track of them if they were in these pots in the driveway. And one of them did bloom. It was very pretty and it smelled really good. So I would recommend those. Bare roots from, I mean, this one's like 2 feet tall. Bare roots from Longfield Gardens via Costco. This is a sad rose. I mean, a bunch of my roses are really sad, my hybrid teas. I mean, it's putting on some new growth, but the rose slugs have been really bad. And I've not even been able to find them on this one. I don't know. Like to pick them off. These are little boobles. I know that's a funny word. From the double tiger lilies that got eaten by the red lily beetle last year. And I picked these off and I just threw these in here and I completely neglected them. I left these in the driveway, not even on the porch, all winter, and they are completely rooted in there. There's like so many of them. And actually they spread really fast, so I probably didn't need to propagate them, but here are some planters that I've been just throwing annuals in when I had too many. Here's some with some lobelia, some coleus, a dahlia, and this one, I mean, a bunch of them had bulbs in them earlier in the year, so I could probably cut back these daffodil greens, but there's some calendula and ageratum. And this one is just ageratum and coleus, and it's doing really well. I should have more discipline and just do more simple combinations like that, but I don't usually. This one, I think I grabbed little bits of feverfew from the garden. Oh, I was doing the lawn, and these little violas, and the feverfew just self-seed into the lawn, and so I picked those up and put them in there. And then here's some more ageratum, some calendula, which doesn't look very happy here. Maybe I'll put that somewhere else. Some coleus, some violas popping out. I have tried to do some annuals in this driveway strip. It's a challenge because I'm always treating, sorry about that, I'm always treating knotweed with herbicides. It's the only way to do it. But I do try to grow some annuals that will hopefully have some blooms on them later in the season. I do have some hollyhocks going right now. They are not perfect. They are growing in pretty hostile dirt. So I have a lot of marigolds, tithonia, like this one's turning white. I think this might have been planted directly on a place that I treated, so I don't know if it's gonna make it or not, but this is a Velvet Queen sunflower. Those are all over. Some more mahogany splendor hibiscus. Wow, that sunflower is looking really good over there, actually. It's like close to 10 inches tall. So I'm sure most people know this, but if you take a little piece of sedum, great cameraman, and just stick it in a dirt pot and leave it outside, it will become a new sedum plant without doing basically anything. This is a little piece that I grabbed when I was out in the fall. I only had a piece like that big, and I kept it on the windowsill all winter, and I didn't remember the leaves being this big. Maybe it's just because it's in the shade, I don't know. Anyways, if you want more sedum, that is how you get more. Home Depot is having a 50% off sale, and I could not resist. This is a Pinky Winky. It's like, I know it's the worst name, Steven hates it, but it's probably like close to 5 feet tall. And then these are Bobo hydrangeas. I'm going to put these around the oak tree in front today, and this is some phlox, because you can never have enough phlox. And some goat's beard, which is hard to start from seed. I was going to get some seed for this, but I mean, here's the seed if I wanted to now, but like, it's so tiny. I'll probably just divide those in the fall. So, yay for enormous shrubs. These were $15. Seriously, people, like, just get them on sale. It's amazing. Anyways, there's some actual perennials down there. Well, that's what's going on in my driveway. You can see I have a problem. And this is what I do instead of working inside the house in the summer. We also have a bunch of bricks here, and I've been using them to line the beds. So, if you stuck through all of that, thank you. If you have any suggestions on how to get rid of slugs or how to germinate lady's mantle, I would like to hear that.